Alrighty.
Hey, good morning.
All right. So, hi there, everybody. This is Tammy and Julie. We are two psychic moms. Today is June 20. What is today? June
Is that
26th.
28th?
29th. Oh my God, 28th.
Yeah. Is it right now?
Okay. Well, something in June, right?
Right.
Well, a lot has happened since we last came to you. So there are big things afoot in our country, and as usual, we get just brilliant questions, and so we're going to dive right into those. Just to say, yes, we are Tammy and Julie. We're available online. You know where to reach us: Tammy's Intuitive Services, BizPsychic, JulieHawkins.com. I mean, Tammy's all over the place. I am not. So and that's okay.
Yes, it is.
So we're going to dive in because we are. So Daphne sent us a question, which was actually quite long, and so we're gonna narrow it down a little bit because it's really about kind of cause and effect and taking into account soul contracts and what's happening at the time those contracts are made. And I hope I kind of sum that up the way she asked. She gave a lot of examples. So if anybody's curious, you can certainly go online to our YouTube channel and read her full question there.
Yeah, good point.
But for our purposes here, it's just easier for us to condense it to sort of this last bit, which she says, I guess what I'm asking is whether predictions take into account soul contracts or situations that cause huge energetic shifts to a person. And then she wants to know about Roe v. Wade, and so does Saylor. And we're going to say it's not just huge energetic shifts to a person, it's huge energetic shifts to the planet, to your state, to your city, to your job. I mean, there's energetic shifts everywhere, right? So,
Okay.
shall I go, or you want to?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
So I'll sit with it. Maybe, I mean, I'll go with it, and then maybe you can riff, or we can restate it. But the meta view of this, what my guys are saying to me is that it's every single person has a path and a journey, and there's things that will come up on this path and this journey that you may pivot to a certain direction or not pivot and wait and see what happens, right? But the bottom line is that you'll always end up where you are meant to end up, to learn, hopefully learn the lesson you were sent here to learn. That's not always true. Some people come here to learn lessons and they don't get the full learning of those in a single lifetime, or even many lifetimes. Mm-hmm. It may take many more lifetimes. And so what happens is you are presented with a variety of experiences or opportunities in which to learn that lesson or a lesson. And if you don't learn it in that particular experience or setting or instance, then you will be guided or we're even going to use the word thrust into another experience where you will have the opportunity to learn that lesson. And the lessons are lessons for every human are going to be the same, but in varying degrees and in varying times and in varying natures. In other words, you may come into this lifetime, for instance, I'll use myself. I came in to learn about boundaries and boundary setting. That was a major life lesson for me in this lifetime. And it will be an ongoing practice for me, but I culminated with that and went over that. And now I'm in a place of managing that. Okay. Some people, again, you may not get that lesson in this lifetime, so you will come back and learn it in another lifetime. What happens is, there, as we said, there are varying things that will happen to cause you to learn that lesson. Whether, and And if it's set up to teach you your lesson, it may not impact somebody else. Okay. So it may feel hugely impactful for you. So for instance, Daphne gives an example of if there was a prediction that a new job is on the horizon in the next couple of months, but due to the economy, lots of companies are in hiring freezes and rescinding offers. How does this impact me if I'm looking, say, for a new job? I don't think she actually said that, but I'm going to use that. And the bottom line is, while that may be happening at large, if you're meant to be in a certain situation to learn a lesson, all else will fall away and allow you to be in that position to learn that lesson. Don't overthink this. Don't worry about what's happening in, the butterfly effect. Like if a butterfly flaps its wings in Cambodia, does it change the temperature in Miami? I mean, there are a myriad and a million things happening at once, and they are meant to be that way. It's a greater force that operates those things. What your focus is you, and what your lesson is for you, and what situation you will be placed in optimally to learn that lesson. Okay, we're gonna take a break and hand that over to Tammy while we
Okay.
some other things.
Well, thank you, Julia. It was really well said. I mean, we're in agreement with all that Julie and her guides are receiving. And I guess I would just talk to the kind of the prediction piece again about that. And for me, that's why I really am not a big, fan of giving predictions. Because there are other things that can take you off track from that particular prediction. It's possible, right? There's going to be, like our guides say, you've heard me say before, the snapshot of currently what you're showing us in anything that we ask about a prediction. So can other environmental things or other things shift from that? Sure, but that's all part of your reality too, and your experience. So it's kind of a package of things. Seeing a little floaty right in front of me. Sorry about that. So yeah, it's kind of a package of things. So we don't really, if they're said, they're coming more directly with this. We don't really like to give the predictions for this reason that, if something is said to you or something is predicted for you, of course, there's the whole free will, side of this as well. So if somebody takes something literally and really likes what they hear, and there's no fear or blocks around that may create the blocks, I should say, any fears or doubts or insecurities that might create blocks to receive that, most likely it will come to fruition. Those that maybe have predictions that they say it never happened, I would say check in with that and see if there's anything within, right, that might have made you feel like you want to go off course. Keeping in mind, again, any psychic, any intuitive is not always 100% accurate in that either. Our guides do the best they can of reflecting back to you what they see. I don't know if I know this isn't maybe directly to your question, Daphne, but can other circumstances like environmental or other things going on, take you off course from that? Not really, because again, I'm going to say that's part of your whole experience. That's not coincidental that those things are happening. So if anything that I would share is just be very careful of the prediction piece of things. Okay, I'm very careful how I deliver that in a session, because I know, and I really like to state ahead of time, this is currently what we are seeing that you are showing us is likely to manifest. But hey, you're the creator along the way, right? Yeah, you get to choose if that sounds really good, or hey, it scared the crap out of me, I need to go take some time and do some inner work with that, whatever it might be. So I'm just going to say again, don't put a lot. Honestly, it's coming in pretty strongly right now. Don't put a lot into any prediction ever given to you. It's a bit of a window. It's a bit of a reflection. if nothing else, reflection might be a better word for you to see maybe where you're at that current time. And then you will do with it what you will. So again, not sure if I'm addressing exactly the question, but that's what I'm kind of getting right now.
We're going to add a little bit onto that because we agree with Tammy about certain things about that. I'll speak for myself. So, you know, I am given certain information because it's given to me looking like a prediction because it will help you on the path to achieve what you are meant here to achieve. I have a piece of gum somewhere stuck here, so I'm sorry. What they said to me and what I want to reiterate back to you is, first of all, there are many, they said this to me, there are many courses, not courses, there are many pathways to your destination. Okay, the destination is the same. It's how you get there. You can take surface streets to get to the store, or you can hop on the freeway. You might have a detour and you might have to turn left instead of right. There are many pathways to get to the ultimate destination. Okay, and so that's what you're going to experience. And if there's a detour, then there's a detour, and it's meant to be there for any variety of reasons. Maybe, as Tammy said, or Tammy's guide said, you weren't ready for the destination, or things happened in the world that are, there's many reasons why you might have to take a detour. Okay. When we talk about predictions, we talk about them as opportunities. So you have the opportunity to go here and do this, to take this new job, because it's in line with the direction and the destination you are meant to achieve in this lifetime. And at this moment in time, if you receive a prediction from me, we don't really call them predictions either. We call them opportunities. It is a snapshot of, it's like looking at your GPS map. Oh, look, there's an accident up here, so I'm going to take this detour over here to get where I'm going to go. That's exactly what we're giving you. We're giving you the opportunity to say, oh, look, here's a way you can go to reach your destination. And it means going and doing this instead of that. All right. So it might mean taking a different job instead of the one you were thinking you wanted. That is what we present to you, that some people call a prediction. We just call it an opportunity. All right. And so, as Tammy said, it's a snapshot in time of what is the best way to reach a destination or a possibility or an opportunity at the moment in time that we're giving you the reading. It might change 5 minutes after we hang up if you get a call that says, oh, blah, 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 and you need to come and do this. And you're like, well, wait, they just told me. There's infinite numbers of possibilities. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's probably unlikely, but we're using it as an extreme. So, so what we're saying is, and we'll repeat this, don't overthink this.
Right.
We like the phrase, just roll with it and go with the flow. Mm-hmm. If you're presented with an opportunity and you're like, yeah, I could do that. Okay, what happens if I don't? What happens if I do? And maybe that's as far as the thinking goes. Mm-hmm. Because we want you to really go deep within, into your heart, into your soul, into your being, and ask, what is in my best and highest good? Is it to pivot left or to stay where I'm at? Mm-hmm. Pivoting left might require some work, the work you were meant to do, or maybe the beginning or the middle or a part of the work you were meant to do. Maybe you'll be ready, maybe you won't. We've all been there. All of us.
Yeah.
So don't overthink it. Just ask yourself those questions and then make a decision. Because in some ways, the worst thing that you can do is to not make a choice, right? and that is making a choice. You're making the choice to not make a decision or to move in a direction, but then you're stuck and you're going to stay stuck. And that's not what you came here to do. You came here to grow and evolve.
Mhm.
So we just want you to keep that in mind.
Yeah. I just want to add on to Julie that, because those are all good, really good points. And it's like my guides are impressing upon me right now that, when they speak to you and they, through maybe, an intuitive or something like that, and you're having a reading, let's say, it is such an act of love when they're presenting some things that, like, we're going to just use that word again, prediction, because we understand it, we understand that word. It is opportunity, like Julie was saying. But, let's say there's, again, some prediction given, that's really out of love for you to go, like Julie was mentioning, a little deeper. And that's really a lot of what that is. It's not for you necessarily to go, oh, okay, that's it. That's what's going to happen. Oh, okay. Though we get it. I mean, I think we've all been on the receiving end of having a reading and you hear a prediction, especially one that you like, and you're like, okay, but that's the whole point, right? It's like, where is it lighting you up? Is it making you feel like, oh, I don't know about that, or whatever it is? That's the whole point of them presenting this to you. Like Julie was mentioning, the word opportunity. It gives you that opportunity to decide what you want to do with that. Because again, you have the final say. I mean, anything that comes through in a reading is just giving you that opportunity, to really see how it feels inside. So always please keep that in mind in any sessions that you have.
Perfect. Well said.
I mean, our guides sometimes will come at the beginning and they'll say like, oh, you're going to move, and that'll surprise me even, because they're just like, it's a boom, and most of the time people will say like, oh yeah, I am, or I've been thinking about it. So again, they're just reflecting back. Sometimes it's like, oh, I am, but I trust that whatever, and I'm sure it's the same for you, Julie, that whatever they're saying at that moment is needed for that, for that client, right, to hear. Because if nothing else, it gets things going. Maybe they've taken that opportunity to give you a nudge in a certain direction. Again, it's totally up to you what you do with that. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to add on that little piece as well.
No, this is a great question. And it's great reiteration from our guides for.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so thank you
really
for the
well
question,
said.
Daphne. It's good to go a little deeper with that.
So we're just keeping it simple because that's really the best way to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the second question, and both Daphne and Sailor asked this, and I'm sure a lot of other people want to know. We had a big, that's kind of an understatement, a cataclysmic event in the United States where a right that had been given to half the population was overturned. Specifically Roe v. Wade and the right for women to be in control of their own bodies. And I'm going to be honest and say it's part of what you're going to hear coming through is going to be my own feelings about this. They're like, yeah, that's okay. But we will get to your question as well. But this was devastating for, and not just women. This impacts everybody. And it's going to have bigger, deeper ramifications. So what my guides gave me, gosh, I wish I would write these things down. I don't know why I get these things and I don't think about writing them down.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Sometimes, yeah.
But a few weeks back, I think when the original thing was leaked out about Roe v. Wade, the possible decision that had been leaked out, my guide said to me, this is going to happen, and it's going to take up to about 2 years from the time that it happens for there to be a recognition and documentation of the horrific ramifications of what this this overturning of this right have created and have caused. And so we're going to see immediate results of that, but it's going to be over time. And while there'll still be ongoing fights, it's somehow around the 2-year mark of this is when you're going to see a culmination of this. What they told me was a revolution. And so they're sticking to that. If they said, "Oh, you humans, you're so slow to see stuff sometimes." And while some of you see it directly now, many of you, your wheels of government turn very slowly. And it will take that long before you're able to bring about true and lasting change in a way that benefits all of your citizens, not just some of them. And because this is really now starting an ongoing battle and fight to take away more rights. And truly what it amounts to is the right to privacy. What you do in your own home and what you do with your own body is your own business. And for a segment of your government that wants to have it, no, we can't come in and control your guns, but we can control your body. How does this make any sense to me? It makes no sense to me. And it's just complete hypocrisy and a complete agenda of theirs. And so you have to fight. They're saying you have to fight. And I mean, for me, of somebody of my age, it doesn't matter. All these things are history for me. And it won't impact me, any of them that they're looking to overturn. But that is not the point. And you must fight, because this is a bigger issue. It's a huge issue. And the fight will take a while. It's going to take a while. Mm-hmm. So what they're saying is look for, again, so we're saying this and it sounds like a prediction, but what we're really saying is things will line up, and in about 2 years' time, there will be the opportunity for a culmination of a better outcome for the majority of the people who are fighting for this. Mm-hmm. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm. It does.
Yeah,
it does.
And they're saying, use your voices. You must fight. You must fight, and you must, in your system, you must vote.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's like Roe v. Wade, Roe v. Wade, Roe v. Wade. Bless our guides. They said there's so much going on right now, isn't there? They said it in such a sympathetic, loving way. Like kind of like you were saying, "Oh, you humans." And we understand the struggles. You're being given so many opportunities, aren't you? In big ways. They said big ways. Right, big waves. Oh, sorry, big waves. They're saying bring big waves, and hope. It's interesting. It's almost, I don't know if I call it on a larger level, but it's like they show me again another exercise in humans coming together, getting opportunity. Too bad it has to be through conflict, but they're saying, that exactly, that it's just I have my glasses off, so I'm trying to look at you a little bit better, Julie. So we just know that this is yet another opportunity. And, whoa, how do you like that one? It's kind of what they're saying, like your rights are being taken away. Like, how do you like that one? What are you going to do about it? That's sure to stir up some conflict and some opportunity. And this is another way, unfortunately, because you see, again, we have to remember now, of course, I believe in having a choice personally. So when I say this, but our guides are saying, you have to remember, again, there are two sides to every story. You may think your side is correct, but those who are just as strong-minded and thinking about it in the other way, do we think they're wrong? Not for us to say. So what it does more is about how do you come together to work out an agreement. This could be anything, gun laws, whatever, right? All the other stuff that's been going on. But we do know that Roe v. Wade, as far as like time frame on this, it's, well, geez, right now they're showing me just protests. I got the signs in my head, protests, marching and protesting. That's big right now because that's where it's going right now in that sense. I don't know. I feel like there's this big, I don't mean this literally when I say explosion about it, but that's kind of, there's this big, I'm going to use the word explosion because I can't think of another word right now. And then, things start to kind of simmer down. People are starting to find their place, they're telling me, as to where they can help. And they're almost showing me chess pieces are being played. Like the chess pieces are trying to be placed in certain positions to get this done in a, I would almost say, respectful and organized way, which must mean, I'm not equating respectful and all that with political, but it's almost like like politically, in a way that you can do it lawfully. I don't know if that's a good way to say it. The chess pieces are being played as to what the next steps are. So yeah, you can decide what you want to do to help support that. I guess that is either, going out and speaking your mind about it or voting or whatever it might be. And this is not definitely anything that's being taken lightly. And people are not laying down their swords, so to speak, and saying, okay, I guess this is the way it is. No, there's definitely pushback and fight. I mean, no brainer there. Everybody would expect that and understand that, but that's what they're saying. So it's not going to go away anytime soon, but they keep showing me these chess pieces. So it's being strategically planned.
And again, what we were saying was it will take a while, maybe it's a year, maybe it's up to 2 years, to see how so many people's lives and deaths will occur. You cannot, okay, so the first thing sometimes I just sit here and I'm just listening, I'm just waiting, and I hear stuff and it's like, I'm so glad you said that. But they said your democracy will prevail. And I cling to that hope personally. I hope they're right,
I feel it is too. Go ahead, Julie. That wordage, I like a democracy will prevail. So I'm going to sit with that as you're speaking.
The sort of the trick of doing what we do is to allow ourselves to be open to whatever comes through, right? And not our own stuff. And well, I personally would like to see that. I didn't create that. So I'm going to go with that is what I'm saying. But yes, we agree with your chess pieces, because it's going to be this one moves and then this one moves and then it causes this. It's really goes back to, in some ways, Daphne, to your whole original question of, what causes what to happen and then how do we deal with that? And it's just their whole point of saying it's going to take up to 2 years is because it's going to take that long for women who ordinarily would have gotten abortions to play out, well, now how has my life changed? Or for women who are doing things now considered illegal because they don't want to bring that pregnancy to term. And so it is going to take that long to accumulate all of that data and information and be presented in a way that says, this is me now, this is unacceptable. You can't consider, it's like saying, well, every sperm is a possible human being. So what do we let every sperm go run wild? It's just insane. So
some do that.
I'm sure men would love to do that, but it's just anyway.
Yeah.
this, you have to, and I know I'm personally preaching to the choir now, you have to take into consideration, and they're saying we concur with this, those consequences of the people who are in existence now, not those that would be of possible existence. That is just a possibility. It is not a reality. There are people who are in existence now, and how do we take care of them? Okay.
Right. One other little jotted thing I just had put down, just because I wanted to sit with, like you said, democracy, will it prevail? And I too get that it will. But what they said is it's going to take time to get it balanced.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what they said. So yeah, it's all kind of in alignment with what we're all getting.
It's so it's so weird. I was watching. You know, those people know me, know I'm a big Star Wars fan. And I was watching, I wanted to binge the new Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was only 6 episodes on Disney Plus, and I watched the whole thing. And they came out with one of the things that was from one of the original movies that was, you know, Anakin Skywalker, who becomes Darth Vader, was supposed to be the one to bring balance. And instead, he brought chaos, right? But that chaos then initially brought a higher, better understanding, and to allow those people the best and highest life and good to destroy or to eliminate the evil, right? And that's where you are at.
Great analogy, right? Exactly. And I think that's it. I think anytime we have these conflicts, it's so easy, or these kind of big things, it's so easy for us to get to the negative piece of that. Understandably, we're human. We react, you know, to what we hear and what our own beliefs are. But they're saying to understand there is this purpose and reason for it, and it can serve the greater good ultimately. So our best, you know, what is that method of defense, or whatever they're trying to tell me, whatever that saying is to calmly evaluate how this could actually affect everybody in a potentially positive way, and to keep some of that. Again, they're even showing me balance with maybe the anger and frustration with the hope of what this is all about. It's not for nothing. It's here for a reason. So maybe that's what we can do, is try to balance some of that, you know.
Conflict leads to that. I mean, we're in now conflict,
right?
And it will eventually lead to. I'm waiting for the word. Give me the word.
Yeah, right.
You know, it will. I don't know. You know, that chaos and that conflict will lead to more clarity.
You know what I get, Julie? I get it'll lead to exercise. Because that's what we're doing a lot here on this planet, is exercising our rights, our feelings, our egos, or whatever, you know, good things in positive ways too. But yeah, it's experience. In other words, is what I get with that. You know, it's more experience for us.
So we're in the state of conflict. That is where we are at. But that conflict will lead to greater clarity and understanding through the exercise of that conflict.
Right, right, exactly.
All right. Keep those cards and letters. Oh, I mean, those questions coming.
Yeah, do. Thank you both for those questions. We appreciate those. We hope that brought you some little bit of clarity, maybe just a little bit more insight. Yeah, right. Yeah. So we appreciate.
I know it brings it to me. I'm so grateful. Tammy, I'm using that word. I am so truly grateful for my guides, because when the horror of this chaos and calamity that's happening, I guess it's the C words today, it just, you know, truly, I'll just say this is me now speaking. I went to work out yesterday and I was just in a shitty mood. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I didn't want to work out. My washing machine had broken and I was in a crappy mood to begin with. And then the teacher was just so perky and happy, which she always is. And I usually almost always appreciate that about her. And yesterday I was just like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be here. I did work out, but I was just like, you know, there is just ugly stuff happening and I cannot be happy today. And that's okay.
Yeah. You
It's
got to
okay.
own I mean, exactly. That's why we're here on the planet, learning different emotions. And yeah, and if it is something that's overwhelming, you know what to do. You can do some, some visuals and some ways to release some of that for any of us, because we all go through that. You're right. And you got to own the feelings, um, because sometimes that can give you more clarity as a result too,
And it lets it come forth. You don't have to bottle it
Right,
up, you know. I don't have to eat
right.
those and then I mean, I'm almost always 95% of the time I'm a happy, optimistic
Yeah.
person, but I have my moments
Oh,
and
sure. We all do. We all do.
you
And
know,
keep that in mind too. Not that any of you really need to hear this, probably it's watching. Intuitives feel this way too, because sometimes people do think that spiritual folks, like light workers and things like that, must always just have this really happy glow and and be above the rest, and that's not necessarily true. We all have abilities, we all have potential for fine tuning our abilities and so forth. But of course, again, we are all human. Again, not that you necessarily are thinking otherwise, but some people I think do kind of have that feeling. I always say, hey, listen, I may be spiritual and a light worker, but I'm not a saint.
exactly. We're
I'm
meant
not a
to be
saint.
here to be human, to experience.
Exactly.
So
Right. I hope to be an example and be able to channel, really good information. It's helped me greatly, as I'm sure it has you too, Julie. I mean, our personal. So please just do remember your guides, your angel source is with you anytime that you need to tap into them and you're feeling down, feeling a little blue. Simply just put out the request for them to help you, even like to help boost your energy. And it's kind of a known thing energetically when I would do healings for people, just to kind of swoop up their energy field, it can be an instant boost for them. And I've seen it make a difference. So sometimes, if anything, I'll ask my guides to do that. Can you give me that swoosh, give me
yeah,
some love, swoosh it up all around me. And it works. For me, it works.
I'm gonna just say again, I'm just so grateful. I'm
Yeah,
so grateful for them. I'm so grateful that I was brought to this planet at this time to experience what I'm experiencing. And
exactly. Exactly. Gratitude is a wonderful thing. So pay attention to your gratitude every night before you go to sleep. What are you grateful for today? That's an automatic boost also for for your mood, for just everything. So
all right, I'm gonna go listen to the stuff that isn't so that it creates conflict. But
yeah,
thank you so much. And so
yeah,
please submit your questions. We appreciate them and
yeah,
we're here
you
for
sure
you.
do.
All right, until next time, we are Tammy and Julie, two psychic moms, and thank you so much.
See you next time. Bye bye.